Yeah.
So, good evening, ladies, and welcome to Springboard October.
I believe it.
Yeah. Today we are going to be looking at offers. So we're looking at offers between now and the end of January, this next 4-month period, or hang on, three and a half, 4-month period. Because this is one of those prime times of the year where we can make an offer. Well, to be fair, you can make an offer any time of the year is a good time to make an offer. It's just that now, under normal circumstances, people would be thinking about losing weight. They'd be thinking about getting into that little party dress for a bit of a boogie, you know, that we should be having this year because it's the first time we've been able to celebrate a Christmas properly, theoretically. Because at the moment we have all this cost of living stuff and malarkey that's going on, and you know it's I suspect it's probably going to get a bit worse before it gets better. Depends how long the war in Ukraine is on, I think, to be honest. I think that has an awful lot to do with it. Not getting political, but I'm just stating it as I believe it to be. And also January is also that prime time for New Year's resolutions. 1st of January, I'm never drinking alcohol again. Once I recover from this alcohol, I'm never drinking again, kind of thing. You know, I'm pretty sure most of us have been there at some point. Or it's I'm not smoking, I need to save money, I need to stop smoking. Well, you need to have a better reason than that. I'm going to be perfectly honest, you do, because if it was about money, you'd have stopped a long time ago. But that being said, that may be being a little bit harsh, because as the squeeze continues, some people will have the choice of smoking or having a meal on the table or something along those lines, or the heating on for a bit longer, whatever. I don't know. Either way, what I do know is for smoking in particular, it has to be a very strong reason, a very strong reason before they'll give up. And it's got to be about them, nobody else. So, you know, putting food on the table for the children may not be, it sounds awful, a strong enough reason. Anyway, it is also a good time for weight loss, January. It is also a good time for food relationships, eating healthier, all of those sorts of things, sugar addictions, chocolate addiction, all of those sorts of things are always good any sort of time in January. But I think potentially all of those things may be quite good now. It's a case of tapping in, I think. I don't know if that's the right word or not. Tapping in to what is going on around you. So just tilt your camera down a tiny bit because you're a bit like that. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
hello. So just tune in was the word I was looking for. Tune in to how people feel and the emotions and the feelings that are going on around you in your area. Generally, nationally as well, if you can, because that will kind of give you a feeling. And to me, there seems to be one dominant feeling going on, and that's fear. And that's because everything is so up in the air and so uncertain. It doesn't help with the political climate at the moment. That is really not helping things. In fact, that's making it 10 times worse. That is just my opinion, by the way. That's as political as I'm going to get tonight.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
Thank you. So we kind of need to think a little differently to what we would normally think, and we need to kind of think a bit more out of the box than this session we had last year. I think it was sort of about January we had this session last year, or this year actually, to be fair. I'm bringing it forward because I think it's more necessary now to prepare you in advance so that you can start thinking about it now for somewhere between now and Christmas if you want to, but most certainly for January, because it can take a while to put everything into place and to do everything you need to do to make it run smoothly. Okay. And when you run campaigns like this, it is a little bit of, oh, right, well, I've learned that lesson. Next time I do it, I won't do it that way. I'll do it this way, kind of thing. You know, I've just coming to the end of a Facebook competition campaign that I've been running for probably about 6 weeks, actually. And the campaign itself has gone really, really well. We're just going through the sales process now, which is going equally well. So I'm well pleased about that. But there are a lot of little things that I've learned along the way where I made it difficult for myself where I didn't need to. If I just put a couple of little other things in place, it would have made my life a lot easier. So it's kind of like when we work out a campaign of sorts, because this is going to be a campaign, however you want to chop it up, it's going to be a campaign of sorts. You have almost like the pain of setting it up, or the hard work of setting it up. That's probably a better phrase. The hard work of setting it up, as in creating, if you're going to do it over social media, all the posts and things that need to go out. Maybe you're going to do a 30-minute webinar on it, or a Zoom meeting on it. I'd call it a webinar, but it would actually be a Zoom meeting. I would not do a webinar, and I'll tell you why. The main reason for not doing a webinar is that you cannot interact with the audience. Now, doing what we do, you need to interact with the audience because they need to get to know you. They need to feel like you're talking to them. A webinar, you could actually record yourself when you got half an hour free and then just post it out when anybody requests one. So you're not really talking to the people. You could just be talking to yourself. So you lose that personal connection. When we do anything like that, what we're really after, especially with what we do, is that personal connection. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sue?
So you mentioned that you've just finished running a competition and now you're going to start running the marketing, presumably.
No, the marketing's just about finished.
Sorry, it's either me or you've frozen, Helen.
Oh God, not again. If I disappear, I'll come back. Yeah,
She's moving around.
Sorry? Okay.
Hang on, let me make sure I've got
I'm assuming that you're talking about...
Hang on. I'm just shutting down as much as I can to make sure that I've not got anything open that I don't need to have open. No, I haven't. Everything's shut. So no, the campaign, the actual sales campaign is now coming to an end. But the whole thing starts as soon as you press live on that first post, or in my case, the actual campaign, ad campaign itself, then that's when the follow-up starts. It's the follow-up when somebody says, I'm interested, that you need to get in line. Can you all hear me?
But that's just like a video, isn't it? Is that different?
I forgot.
Don't know. That was one of the questions I was going to lead into.
Go try.
Hello, carry on. No. Are you with us?
I'm with you for now.
Hello. Is there anybody there? Your campaign, when it starts and you do your first, push your first button, what are you terming your campaign? Is this where you've run the prize draw for the course? And
yes,
alongside that, you're telling people that you're running the course?
Yes. So, well, actually, no, what happened, hi, Loretta. What happened with mine was because the actual Facebook ad ran over 6 weeks. As soon as somebody registered for or entered the competition, they got an email from me that said, oh, congratulations, you've entered the competition. You're in was actually what it said. You're in, you've been entered into the competition, and here's what the heck, I can't remember what I sent actually. Here's a little freebie thing for you. So they got a little freebie, and then a week later, they got another everybody that was in that sequence then got another email to say, oh, did you know about this? So what I was actually doing without doing it was drip feeding them the benefits of doing the training along the way. I didn't say at this point, they already knew that there was going to be a training session because that was on the actual competition. Does that make sense, Sue?
So you'd already set the date, so you were backtracking.
If you're going to do something like that, you need to have a date all ready to go. You can't leave it airy-fairy. They need to know. So when they enter, one of the rules was that they had to be free to join in live on the training on the day.
And was this before they'd paid?
Yes, they only just started paying after the prize was drawn.
Right. Okay.
So leading up to that was a drip feed on a weekly basis. Now it should have been perhaps a bit closer, a bit more. There was a drip feed of information. Oh, so-and-so had a good result and all this, lots and lots of stuff. So it's a case of giving them information, the benefits of other people that have done the training, the benefits for them as a therapist, the benefits as them as the clients. They're learning about as we go along. Oh, and here's another little free sheet or a free bit of information. So we're getting something free every time. And I did that for about 4 weeks, maybe even 5. I can't remember exactly. And then as we got towards the actual draw of the competition, the day of the draw, they got another email that said, today's the day. Don't forget to check your inboxes because I'm going to email the winner. Don't forget to check your inbox and your junk mail because if you're the winner, yay, we need to know. So I did the draw. And unfortunately for me, the person that won the initial draw did not come forward. Now they needed to come forward to claim their prize and confirm they were going to be there on Saturday. Okay. So I gave them about 3 days to come and claim it. I emailed them separately and all the rest of it, and they never came forward. So I thought, right, I'm going to draw it again because I've got to have a winner. So I did the draw again and luckily got a winner who then claimed the prize within about an hour of being notified. Which was great, but everybody else in that sequence, once the winner had been announced, everybody else was then getting the next sequence of emails saying, oh, congratulations, you're a runner-up, you've got £130, I think it was, off the actual cost of the training, and there's this bonus and this bonus and this bonus if you want to do the training. It's going to be on this day, blah, blah, blah. And they had a whole sequence of emails. The last one has just gone out. I'm pretty sure it's gone out now, the last one. So I've now turned those runners up that put their hands up and said I'm interested into cash, into money. Not all of them, but a portion of them. But what it does leave me with now is another portion of people who are interested in the menopause training that I can continue to keep warm and build a relationship with them so that when I either do another offer or I want to run another training session, I can then include them in that and say, look, you showed interest before. Do you want to do the training this time?
So where did you get your original list to send the offer to? Is this from your customer database?
No,
Is it from responses on Facebook?
No, it's everybody that entered the competition on Facebook.
So they approached you?
Yes, they put their hand up and said, I'm going to enter this, filled in their details, submitted the form to me.
Cool.
So these are all, well, most of them are, a couple of people I know on it, but most of the people that have entered that are new people, new therapists to me, which is a good thing because they can, I can now put them into my list. I can use the fact that they're interested in the competition, interested in the training, and continue to build a relationship with them, and hopefully along the way I'll get them to purchase that particular thing.
So the pattern that you have, the series of steps that you've taken could easily be transposed onto, say, smoking in January. I'm running smoking on such and such a January. If you want to be in with a chance of winning a free one, then get in touch with me.
You could. The only thing I think you need to think about, and we had a similar conversation this morning, the only thing you need to think about with it being therapy, it's a little bit tricky because we know they need to have skin in the game for it to be more effective, for them to actually be more successful. So theoretically, yes, you can do exactly the same thing, but you would probably need to start that. You need to decide what day you're actually going to do it on, and then work back a little bit from that. I think 6 weeks was a bit too much. I should have probably done a month. You got to think of the timing as well. So
Yeah.
It may be that you run it in December up to Christmas. Maybe you run it for 2 weeks. Maybe you just run it for 2 weeks before Christmas, saying, you know, December the 3rd, this is going to happen. If you'd like to have, if you'd like to win the stop smoking for £15, £20, £35, £75% off, or whatever it is, I don't know, I'm just
Whatever, yeah.
whatever. It would be probably a good idea to get them to pay something. I don't know, think about it and see what you feel yourself.
Right.
And an extra session free, so you're having 2 sessions, then enter this competition. When
you say skin in the game, you mean they have to want to give up smoking before they enter the competition?
Yes, but they've got to have actually, by skin in the game, we mean they've got to have handed over something for it. It's not just free. It's not just, oh well, I can't be asked today.
Right. Okay.
You see what I mean? They've got to have paid something. They've got to given over something, which is what we mean by skin in the game. If I've paid 50 quid, I'm going to make sure I go.
Yeah.
You know, if I pay a £5 or it's free, it doesn't really matter if I don't go, does it?
No, I see.
See what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. It could be that, you know, the prize is a half price course, but your course is actually a 2-session course or a 3-session course. So you're adding extra value to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everybody else that's entered are runners up. So you need to think of a runners up prize. So for them, it may be you pay for the initial session, which is going to cost you this, but you will also have, as a runners up prize as well, you will have a second session free, which is worth this much. So you're getting, let's say, for instance, you charge £150 for a stop smoking session. So you're going to give them the initial stop smoking session plus an extra one. So they're getting, I don't know, let's say £250 worth of treatment for 150.
Yeah.
And you're going to be saving all the money that you're not spending on cigarettes.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. So everybody else in the competition's a runner-up.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Unless you want to stage it so you've got so many runners-up that will receive a certain prize, and the next lot of runners, so many runners-up will receive prize 3 or something along those lines. It depends how complicated you want it to be.
Right. That's smashing, Helen. I'll shut up now.
No problem. Just remember, if you do a competition on Facebook, you will need to have your privacy policy and terms and conditions on your website, because they will need to be linked to it. And that'll be in when you set it up. It'll be along the way where you have to put it in, a link into that. Facebook are quite strict about that.
When you mention terms and conditions, you mean the ones that they sign up to if they're having therapy with you?
No, I mean the
terms and conditions of the prize draw.
Well, yes, you do have to have that in it, but the terms and conditions that Facebook are looking for are how you handle their privacy data and all that sort of thing. If you're not sure, go on my website. It's on mine somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
Not quite sure where, but it's there somewhere. It'll be at the bottom somewhere in very small print. It usually is. But you will need to make sure that you've got all the follow-up emails done
before,
because that will be the easiest way for you, the less stressful way for you to do it if you're going to do something like that, to set it up.
Okay, smashing. Thank
That
you.
makes sense.
Yeah, loads.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
then equally what you've got, those people who don't buy, you can then keep that relationship going with them, send them little facts, little, did you know this? Da, 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 da. And, you know, maybe give them a couple of months and then maybe touch them again and say, you know what, I'm having another promotion on stop smoking. I thought you might be interested.
Lovely.
Is that sort of little white stick still got you in its grips kind of thing?
Well, it's not just smoking. This would apply to anything.
Vaping.
That people want to give up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's just because we're thinking about January and what people like to, we're not going to say give up. What we're going to say is gain. What do you want to gain in January? Because when we say give up, people go, it's going to be a hard slog, isn't it? That's the first thing people think. If you flip that around and say, what would you like to gain in January? Would you like to gain a nice breath, a fresh breath? Would you like to taste your food again? Would you like to have a few extra pounds in your pocket every day, every week, every month? So we're talking, as we talk about the benefits, not the features. They don't really care whether it's hypnosis, whether it's NLP, EFT, EMDR, all that. I was going to say rubbish then, but I don't mean rubbish. All that stuff. They don't care. What they want to know is, can you stop them from smoking?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to teach you how to relax yourself. I'm going to teach you how to calm down, like you think you calm down, like you calm down with a cigarette, but without the cigarette.
Like you think you calm down with a cigarette,
but without it.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. If you're going to focus on smoking, you could also run group. You could also do group work. See if anybody is interested in doing group work, because between now and the end of January and beyond next year, people are going to be tightening their belts. So
that's going to be one of my value offers, group smoking. It's just trying to get it all generic when you're delivering the session.
It's about making sure you've got several different layers for different price points for people to go to. So those people that really want to stop smoking because they really can't afford to, and I know I said before, price isn't it, but for some people, if it turns out it is, then, you know, maybe having a one that's, you know, they're going to have that tiny bit of a pinch, but having that price point of, I don't know, £99 to stop smoking, £97 to stop smoking, 112, I don't know, whatever. You know, one-off, stop smoking might be what they need. It may be that you have, you do a recording, so they just download it and listen to it themselves and do it themselves.
Yeah.
This is your 20 quid offer. You know, and of course on that recording, either at the front or the end, but somewhere on there, you are going to put, if you want to have a one-to-one, if you want to have a personal one-to-one stop smoking with me, then all you need to do is contact me. You could even say, and I'll knock the price of this off the actual cost of the course.
Like a taster.
Yeah.
Or a match pot.
Yeah. Because one like that is going to be generic. It's not going to be specific to anyone. It's going to be generic. You can offer group stuff. That will lower the cost as well. So you're starting to stagger in different stages of price points. Yeah. Elaine, you look like you were going to say something.
No, just nodding.
Is that what you were asking, Elaine?
Sorry?
Is that what you was?
No, earlier when we were talking, when Helen sort of disappeared off.
Is that what you were talking about?
No, it was just whether, you know, could we do it on Instagram and things, but you sort of covered that with Facebook. I suppose Instagram's the same. Do you have to have the same T's and C's with Instagram?
I don't know much about Instagram. I don't have it.
Oh, don't you? Okay. Because you can do like little video clips on there, can't you? And because I've seen other hypnotherapists doing things, you know, promoting things with little video clips and okay.
I use I use Active Campaign. That's for my Active Campaign is my CRM system, my customer relationship management system. That's where everybody's emails goes into, my clients, my therapists, all the competition winners went in there. They just got tagged as they went along, so that I've segmented everybody out. So I know all I've got to do is just click on their name and I'll find out exactly what they've purchased, what they haven't purchased, what they're interested in. So that when I do a specific thing, so for instance, the next time I run a menopause program, which will probably be around about April time, I would think, March, April time, then I'll miss out all of those people with the menopause tag because they've already bought it. So I'm not going to pester them with it again because they've already bought it. That's only going to wind them up a bit. So, you know, that's why it helps you to automate. That particular system will help you to automate. You can automate things. So I sit and write a whole load of emails. I usually have a full day, maybe 2 days, where I sit and I write emails in email set for a particular campaign. And then I send it off to a lovely lady called Tracy that does a lot of admin stuff. Well, that kind of admin stuff for me. And she sets it up in Active Campaign. She schedules it to go out at a certain time, because these ones are very timed to go out at specific times. So that it drops in everybody's inbox at that particular time, who it's been scheduled to go to. Yes. So a competition is
part of the campaign then, Helen.
Sorry?
Your competition would that be part of your campaign?
Yes. Right. The competition is the media, which I've got people to put their hands up and say, yes, I'm interested. Right. Once they put their hand up and say, yes, I'm interested, and they've gone into that list, then they fall into the campaign that I've set up to go out at specific points. Does that make sense? So it's part, you're right, it's part of the campaign.
Right.
Okay. So if you are going to run, say for instance, you decide you're going to do a weight loss group, you need to decide how many people you're going to have in that group, because you've then got to manage it and you've got to manage people. I personally would go between 6 and 8. I wouldn't really do any more than that because it is about management. You need to be doing posts about it on Facebook because you're after clients. You need posts about it on Facebook running up to, I've got a big announcement. So if you are much better than me and you organize all your posts in advance and schedule them through Facebook to go out at certain times on certain days, once you've done that, that effectively is your campaign. Once you've done that, you can just sit back, press the button, okay, let it go. So it's easier for you. Do you see what I mean? You don't have to worry about sending out post number 3 at 5 o'clock on Thursday. You don't have to try and remember that because you've already scheduled it to go. The more stuff you can have going automatically scheduled, the better, because it takes the pressure off you. What you will need to do is to keep a track of those people that have put their hand up and said, yes, please send me more information. Does that make sense? Because you will need to keep a list of those people so that you can contact them and say, right, okay, it's going to cost you this much. What I normally do in those instances, I have an answer already written out and saved on a sheet on my desktop, and I have a sheet with different answers on. And I literally copy it, paste it into them and send it out, because they're all going to be asking the same question. How much does it cost? What's involved and how much does it cost? So I have it already written out, because otherwise I'm going to be there for hours answering that question, because it's not a short question. It's going to be a bit of a long one. The other way you could do it is say, look, I tell you what, why don't you book a call with me, book a 30-minute call with me, and then we can talk about it a little bit more, and I can find out whether this is suitable for you or whether you know what it is that you actually need. You could do it that way. And here's my, if you give people a link to your calendar, it's a bit iffy. I find that one iffy. I don't know about anybody else, but I do find it a little bit iffy working, where people go, oh, well, you know, oh, I don't want to do that. So, but what you actually need basically is a conversation with them, don't you? At some point. And then you can add them to the group, or if they decide they need one-to-one stuff, because it's your chance to, it's a sales conversation at the end of the day. The choice is no, yes to group, or yes to one-to-one. Those are going to be your choices, aren't they? Unless you've actually recorded a weight loss course that they can download for, I don't know, 45 quid or something, whatever it is you think. Again, staggering those levels of payment. Does that make sense to everybody? Sue's thinking hard. I can see her cogs whirring.
Only because I've spent half a day this week trying to work out how to do a group smoking session. So this is just so handy, because I've done the training to do one-on-one, face-to-face or across thingy.
Yeah.
But I've got a handle on the group one now and what I'm going to do and the little extras I'm going to put in. But it's going to be my first one. So I've got my big girl pants out at the moment. They're just on the washing line.
It's
nowhere near the witch's knickers though.
Sorry?
Nowhere near the witch's knickers.
I still haven't done that email, have I? I've got a
No.
whole load of ideas of emails in my head. I just need to get them out.
Yeah.
I'll make you
Oh,
chuckle.
it's the right time of the year for the witch's knickers.
It is. It is.
Yeah, best get your finger out, Mrs.
I know it's gonna have to. I haven't found a reason to use it yet, though.
But you'll have to explain what witch's knickers are.
Yeah, yeah. It's turning it into something that's going to be of value, isn't it?
No, I mean to these ladies, because they probably weren't on the call when you were telling us about witch's knickers.
Elaine, do you know? You were nodding. I think.
Vaguely
you know.
remember something. Yeah.
Andrew,
Right,
you were
okay.
looking very puzzled. Right. Okay. What happened was, and this is going back. It must be about 18 months, 2 years ago, because it was my husband's 60th birthday. We'd gone out for a meal. We'd actually gone out for lunch, not a meal. Well, that is a meal, isn't it? We'd gone out for lunch and we were wandering around the town, and there was this shop. We went in this little arcade full of little shops, and there was a shop called the Witch's Knickers. And I thought, you've got to go in there, haven't you? You can't not with a name like Witch's Knickers, can you? And I went, what's that all about, Colin? Went, I haven't got a clue. I thought, I'm going to find out. And I went in this shop, and it was what I would call a knick-knacky shop. It had lots of bits of jewelry, it had a few bits of crystals, it had a few bits of clothing. And I walked straight up to the counter and I looked at the woman and I said, hi. And she said, hi. I said, what's Witch's Knickers? And I can't have been the first person that's ever asked her that. And she went, do you not know what they are? I went, no, what are Witch's Knickers apart from knickers? And she said, well, you know by the side of the road when you've got all the trees? I said, yeah. And she said, you've got those plastic bags hanging in the tree? I said, yeah. She said, that's Witch's Knickers. I went, blow me. So of course then I started looking for knickers everywhere. So then I take myself out for a walk with my phone, deliberately to take pictures of knickers. So yeah, watch this space, because that's one's going to have to come out. I've got a couple of other corkers coming out too. I just haven't put it together in any kind of sensible thing at the moment. So does that kind of make sense? You could offer a VIP thing as well. So either find out or ask or know what VIP feels like and looks like for people who would be interested in VIP status. What would a VIP treatment be for you? What do you want that you're not giving other people? What do they want that you're not giving other people? It's a question I'm going to ask, because, what I think and what clients think are going to be two different things. So it might be a question worth asking. just asking on your Facebook page or something, what to you would be VIP treatment? What do you expect? What would you like for a VIP ticket, VIP sessions? What do you think? Because then you can start putting your VIP package together and the price to go with that. Does that make sense? Because, you know, there are a lot of people in the country are going to struggle. There are also going to be a considerable amount of people that won't, that will be hardly affected by it. You know, you're thinking about those CEOs, those bosses that are running companies, those directors, unless the company is doing really badly, you know, if it's a, can't think of a company, I don't know.
Bank of England.
I think we need to end that bit of the conversation, really. But there are still going to be a huge chunk of people that are not affected by what's happening because they've got enough money in reserve. It's not going to bother them so much. So they'll still be able to pay your VIP status and get that extra special treatment. Remember, it's always about making people feel special. You know, when people come to us, they want to be heard. They want to feel like somebody's listening. They want to feel like somebody cares. They want to be special. They may not realize it to start off with, but that's what they want. Everybody wants to be made to feel special by somebody. Does that make sense? Yeah. And when you do your marketing around it, talk to them. Don't type it out in corporate speak or formal speak. Talk to them. Because by talking to them, you'll resonate with them, you'll connect with them. This is one of the reasons why the campaign that I'm just about finishing now has done so well, is because I just put the dictate button on and I just spoke it. I talked to them. You know, I did kind of ham it up a little bit. One of the lines went along the lines of, you've got to allow your own sense of humor to come out, your own personality to come out. It kind of went along the lines of, congratulations, you're a runner-up. Now, I'm really sorry. I know you're disappointed at not being the winner. And I'm really sorry. And I can see you sobbing in your tissues and blowing your nose. And I've just been racking my brains on how I can make it up to you, because I don't want you to be so disappointed and blowing your nose and all this sort of crying your eyes out because you didn't get the competition. And I get that, but there can only be one. So I've been racking my brains on what I can do to make it up to you. And here it is. And this is how the emails go in that personal, I'm talking straight to you mode. And this is how, more or less, how I did the ones for the diploma course that I had running along the same time as this one. Because why have one campaign when you can have two and make life even harder for yourself? So, you know, I kind of had a, you know what, if you're, you know, reading this, I bet you're like me. You just want to help people. You just want to make a difference. You're fed up of working from home. Because I remember while I wrote that, I was thinking about all the things that were the bonuses for me. You know, I made the rules. I decide what piece of paper needs filling in, not some bureaucrat that wants to tick a box off. And the amount of people that contacted me and said, Helen, I am so with you there. Your reasons are there exactly the same as mine. I really resonate with you. I can't do it now, but I'm going to do it with you in the future, next year. because I resonated, because I talked to them, not talked at them with corporate speak or formal language, because we don't talk like that normally. When we talk to people, we use those contractions. You know, we say haven't instead of have not. We say can't instead of cannot. We say summer, you know, the other slang we put in, you need to put it in the email too. And sometimes, you know, one of the ones for, oh, it was the laughter thing that you've probably had this one actually, with the laughter that went out back end of last week. It started going out. You know, I nearly wet myself. That was the headline. I nearly wet myself. Because we all remember those times when we've laughed so hard, we've just about wet ourselves, don't you? You know, and I just talked about that. And people liked it. I got some, Helen, that was hilarious. Thank you so much. Great, because that's what we're doing. We're making people laugh. So, you know, it's all those sorts of things that help you to connect by talking personally, that you need to put in these communications that you're doing to get clients. So, of course, if you're going to focus on one-to-one clients, there's no reason why you can't run a series of social media posts or emails to your existing clients. If you're going to do that, I'd highly suggest you make sure you know, you know which ones have already done weight loss. Yes, the laughter training is for you to use with yourself and with your clients afterwards. There is no script, by the way. There's no scripts for this. It's a technique. So, well, it's not just one technique. There's loads of them, and it's going to be hilarious if we can manage to get through it all by the end. We haven't succeeded yet when we've had a practice. So, if you're going to focus on weight loss, you need to exclude those people that have already done weight loss with you, because you can offer them a, do you need to get back on the rails again? Has Christmas scuppered you and thrown you off track? If you need to get back on track, here, you know, book in with me and we'll do a back on track session for you, or a couple of sessions, you know, book a couple of sessions for this much. Or you can book one session at £70, but if you book 2 sessions, it'll be 110 or something along those lines, whatever it is that you want to do. So it's more, they're going to see straight away, it's more cost effective to book in for 2 sessions than it will be to book in for 1 and then need to go back again a little bit later, 2 weeks later. Does that make sense? So you're offering both kinds of people a different offering at the same time. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, it might be stress. A lot of people are stressed, anxious and worried. That may very well be another good campaign to go for, to focus on, is those stressed people. There is a lot of it around because of all the uncertainty or the fear. You know, we're going to have no heating, we're going to have no lights, you know, we're going to have no electricity, no gas, no nothing, all winter, you know, according to the press. Whether that happens or not isn't the matter. When I read an article, it was, if, I forget what it was now, if such and such happens, then there'll be times when we have no gas and no electricity. But it was an if, not when. Yeah.
One thing that would be quite useful to sell at the moment would be to increase people's resilience. But I'm not sure what you would put in that to increase people's resilience.
Well, whenever I'm not sure, I think about it this way. What would I need? What do I need? What would I like?
Well, getting used to change.
Well, I'm beautiful.
Bit of relaxation.
Couple of tools. So
come on, ladies, give us a hand.
So basically what you're saying is what you actually need is the same sort of stuff you do for stress.
Yes, yeah, I suppose. So it's back to stress.
So
Because half of my clients locally probably couldn't spell resilience. Anyway.
come on, sit down, you. So I'd give them, I'd teach them the breathing technique. I'd give them a little shield or a little bubble. I'd advise them not to, yes, I love you too, Molly. I'd advise them not to watch the TV, watch the news, to stay away from the news. Just get the news headlines for a minute once a day, just so they're aware of what's going on, but they're not jumping in. You know, you can also do, you can also do some sort of hypnosis on noticing what's going on, but not actually jumping in and sort of absorbing it all. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, just letting it go past you.
Yeah,
past your bubble. Yeah.
You know, taking sensible precautions with a clear head and calm is going to be much more beneficial and productive than panicking and making a knee-jerk reaction or knee-jerk decision. Oh, you're a pain in the... Sit down. Sit.
Sorry, I feel as though I've taken loads of
No. It's
tonight,
good. It's fine. It's fine, Sue. Don't forget things like alcohol. Remember, January is dry January, where people often say, you know, I think we started with that, didn't we? I'm never drinking again. So it
sugar.
Yeah, there is sugar in that as well, but yeah.
No, but too much sweet stuff.
Yeah. So, you know, there's lots of different things that you can do for January in particular, but there's no reason why you can't do some of those things or all of those things now as well. But you need to plan it out in advance to make sure that you execute it for the best possible outcome, the best possible effect and outcome. There's no good January the 1st suddenly panicking and going, oh my God, I didn't do that. Oh, well, I'll just shove a quick post out now, because it may be effective. I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but it's probably not going to be as effective as if you plan it out now and work back. So, right, I'm going to run this. What should we pick on this time? This alcohol reduction course. I'm going to run it for 4 weeks, a group session. So I'm going to have between 6 and 8 people on this course. I'm going to tell people I've got 6 places, but if I have to take 8, then I'm happy with that. And I'm going to start putting out a post every 3 days a week, 3 out of the 5 days. I'm going to put a post about it to gain interest, and etc., etc., etc. You know, I'm going to tell them the benefits. If you join this group, and you've got to have deadlines whenever you do anything, you've got to have either deadlines, as in a date and a time. This will finish at 8 a.m. on Sunday, the 21st of January, or whatever date you choose. Or the other way of doing it is by having a restriction of a scarcity of numbers. There's only going to be 6 on this course, because actually it's the first time I've run it and I want to make sure I can cope. So I'm only going to have 6. So there's only going to be 6 on this, only 6 places on this course. And when they're gone, they're gone. So what you're doing is driving people to take action. You might also, some people might want to give a deadline on that as well. You know, this offer, I'm offering it, usually it's about 1/3 of the price of a one-to-one course is what you would normally charge, roughly about 1/3. So for instance, if you're, I'm going to make it easy for myself today. I tried that this morning, it didn't work out. My head didn't play the game. But if for instance, for 4 sessions, you would charge somebody £300, all right, on a one-to-one basis. But what you're going to do for the group course, you are going to charge them either £97 or £100 for that 4-session course. £97 is psychologically better than 100, by the way. 95 or 97. I know you'd lose a little bit, but you only need 3 people to cover the cost of what you're actually doing to earn the same amount of money. But if you've got 6 people on that course, you're doubling it, aren't you?
So with the recording for sugar addiction, alcohol reduction, whatever, you would just do a generic audio to support that rather than go through and put the name in on a generic audio that you've adapted yourself.
Yeah, if you're doing something, if you're just doing a like a course that you're going to sell to Joe Blogs, you don't, because you don't know who's going to buy it, so you can't put a name in it. It's got to be completely generic. You can't do anything else. What I've done when I've done it before is I've created 2 videos for each session. One is a really short video that's probably about 5 minutes. Can you believe I can only talk for 5 minutes? And that's a sort of an instruction thing, you know, and giving them a couple of ideas. I think some of them might actually be 10 minutes, but, you know, it's only really short. And here's a tool for you to learn. Do this with me now, blah, 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 blah. And think about this in this way, think about this, think about that, Now go on and listen to the recording. And by the way, I want you to listen to that recording every single day at a convenient time for you, when you're not driving a car, when you're not operating machinery, being responsible for anybody else, blah, 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 blah. And then the next one, click onto the recording now. So they then click onto the audio recording. So they have, in each week, they have two recordings. One's a video and one's an audio. And then, of course, it can go out to anybody. Have the warning on the front, you know, if you're psychotic, schizophrenic, psychosis of any kind, bipolar, blah, 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 then do not use this now. Contact me, etc., etc. All right. Does that help, ladies?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And then, of course, if you're going to upscale it, so think about the group course. The group course is going to be a certain number, because you can't have, well, you can. I know Sheila's done mass big groups with sort of 20 or more on a group. It's about managing them. I personally, I don't know, I don't work well with clients in a group for some reason. I think it's the way I've marketed it. I don't think it's anything else other than a marketing issue. And this is going back quite a while, by the way. But what it is, anybody that puts their hand up to say, yes, I'm interested, can you send me the details? Then, of course, it's that chance to have a chat with them and maybe convert them from the course to a one-to-one thing. Unless you want to do just a course. Yeah? Cool. Okay. So think about what it is that you want. Your tail gets in the way, Kat. Think about what it is that you want to focus on, what it is that you feel people need right now. What do they want? What do people want? Because want often beats need, by the way. So remember to talk about the benefits, not the features, not the, oh, well, you know, you remember cigarettes have got over 6,000 chemicals in and they're all poisonous. They already know that. If that was going to work, they wouldn't be sat in front of you. So all that information is not going to work, because they already know it. And if it was going to work, yes, you're right, Loretta, more money in the pocket. So you could do something on abundance, couldn't you? You know, I did an abundance program last year. I think it was end of November, December. I ran it November, December. That went really well, actually. I enjoyed that. So, you know, it could be that you do something on abundance. Get them to focus more positively. Focus on money coming in rather than money going out, because you know as well as I do, it's that law of attraction that kicks in. What you focus on is what you get, because you've activated that reticular activated system in the back of your head that brings everything to your attention. Oh, look, here's another bill. You wanted more bills. Here's a bill. You mentioned bill. Here's one. No, I don't need any more. What you need is the money coming in to be able to pay those bills. So you focus on money coming in. And all of a sudden, money comes in from the most surprising of sources. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah?
Yes, thank you.
Any other ideas or suggestions or?
I think sometimes it's useful to time, well, this is something I learned through Sheila's program, instead of advertising, giving up smoking, giving up alcohol or whatever. Sometimes New Year, going to the gym, exercise motivation. Motivation can last about a week. It's sometimes useful to pitch your dates third week into January, just because people may well have not carried through on their New Year's resolution.
End of the first week, people start giving up, by the way.
Oh, crikey, that quick.
Yeah, and that quick. By the end of the first week, people start giving up. And in some cases, especially with food, by the end of the first day, they've given up. Because what they've set themselves is unrealistic goals. So it's about helping them with that. And this is why, if you're going to do a group thing, start it the end of the first, start marketing it middle to the end of the first week for a couple of weeks, so that when they've given up and they're thoroughly fed up with themselves, your thing pops up yet again. Right, okay, maybe I might be interested in this time. Maybe I should give her a call. Free 30-minute chat. Come and have a chat with me, no obligation. You are not obliged to buy. I just want to know if I can help you. And you are not having that. There could be gin in that for all you know, couldn't there? Huh? Yeah. Oh, scoot. So think about those things. And you're right, it is timing. It is definitely timing when you do these things. Now, it could be that you have it starting. You could have it starting the first week in February. Yes, I am recording it for you, Loretta. Molly and all. So you could have it starting the 1st of February, because people have been paid by then. After that long Christmas of, they get paid early in Christmas, and then we've got about 5 weeks or 6 weeks to do without getting paid again. So they've had their pay, they've had their money, their pay come through. So you could be that you start marketing it the middle of January to start on the 1st of February, or whatever the date might be for you. Yeah, Holly. Hey. Yes, menopause training is this Saturday. So you need to catch up with me really quickly, Loretta. So, you know, it could be that those things, you know, you've got to think, this is why I decided to do it now and not January. Last year or this year we did it in January. This is why I've done it now, because I want you to think in advance what it is that you're going to do, so you've got plenty of time to plan it out and to get ahead with that. If you're going to do emails, those emails. If you're going to do posts, those posts. So you've got them all bang, 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 ready to go and lined up, scheduled the lot, so that when you come to do it, it's already done, it's already sorted. You just got to wait for the day to arrive. Because it's about making life easier for yourself and more productive. If you're going to store their names and their email addresses, their data, in other words, you need to have a little note on it that, you know, we're going to store your data will be stored in a secure system. It's not shared with anybody else unless it is going to be shared publicly on social media, blah, blah, but you need to have that in. So that people know what's happening. So when they get an email from you, it's not a surprise. Yeah.
Okay.
So you look very thoughtful again.
I was just processing what you were saying, but I also made a note of the CRM that you use, something active campaign.
That's right. It is the basic package gives you up to 1,000 connections, so you can store
Right.
1,000 connections. I can't remember how much it was a year. It's one you've got to pay for because there's a lot more involved than MailChimp. MailChimp are very restrictive now. When I first started with MailChimp, I actually thought it was a CRM system. It's not. It's just an email. It's just where to put your emails. It's not a management system. So you'll find it difficult to schedule things to go out with MailChimp. HubSpot is another one for you to look at, although I've heard conflicting things about HubSpot. You don't have a set payment, I don't think. I think it's
free up to so many. I've been to one of the IT classes through Growth Club was
right, okay,
for HubSpot, because that's used by Chiran. But I haven't set anything like that up yet. I'm still doing things by hand and making a note in my diary when to send somebody an email.
No, it will save you a lot of time.
Yeah.
I've just paid 200 and something. Let's just say 300 because I think it was 200 and something. So that's for the year for Active Campaign, but I am actually going to have to upgrade it because I've got too many connections for the particular package that I've just bought. You can
the
pay
basic one's free.
No,
Did you say?
I think so. You'll have to check. I'm not sure.
Right.
Have a look around, but you're after a CRM system, not something like MailChimp, which is not a CRM system.
No.
Something like Active Campaign and HubSpot will allow you to set up, automate emails. So all those emails you've got, you can then create an automated campaign in that system to go out to that list at this time, this time, and this time, or when this happens, they'll get this email. When that happens, they get that email. So you can do all of that in Active Campaign. It is a customer relationship management system, Andrea. It's where you can store all your customer details, your contact details. And then when you want to email them, you just send one email out to everybody. So it will save you a lot of time. That's where you can automate your systems. So you can set different emails up to go at different times to certain people. Okay, does that make sense now?
Yeah.
It's saving you time so that when you've got, if you've got a couple of days where it's really quiet and you've got nobody booked in, then maybe you think, right, okay, I'm going to sit down and really think about this Christmas campaign, the New Year campaign, which do I want to focus on? Well, actually, I want to do both. So I'm going to nail it down first, and then I'm going to focus on the other one and do the two at the same time, Why do one when you can do two? Make life harder for yourself, Let's not do this easy. That's all I'm saying. Even my business coach went, Helen, what were you thinking? I went, I don't know, I thought it was a great idea at the time. She said, well, surprised you've been stressed and not sleeping. I went, it's coming to an end soon. So, brain of Brittany. I can guarantee I'll do it again and all, because at some point I'll think it's a great idea again, because I'll have forgotten what. Oh my God. So think
Right,
about
good
all
stuff.
those things. Think about what is holding people back, because somebody was saying this morning when we were talking about this, at the moment it feels like people are holding back on anything other than food and fuel. So think about what it is we can do to help those people, and you've got to think about who you are targeting. Who are you thinking about with your campaign? Are you thinking about the shop floor worker? Or are you thinking about the manager? Or are you thinking about the boss that owns the company? In other words, your avatar. I'm pretty sure, I think that's what Sheila was doing this morning on whatever it was that she was doing this morning. Think about who you are who you want to attract. Who are you talking to? I talked to you earlier on about talk to them, but who, you've got to have somebody in your mind who you're talking to. The kind of person that you want to really connect with. Bye, Loretta. So, if you're talking to a manager or a boss, they're going to be time poor. So how about, VIP status, you can have your sessions at the time that suits you. You will have priority over my time. And if it's 7 o'clock at night, it's 7 o'clock at night. Or you say you can have sessions whenever you like, up to 7, 8 o'clock at night. I probably wouldn't offer that, to be honest. But I know some people do prefer to work at night. Because what they're doing is they're time poor. So we're going to make sure those sessions last no more than an hour, 50 to 60 minutes, because they're time poor. They just want to get on, crack on. So we make sure they are sharp, focused, and do what we need to do with those people, unless they just want to talk. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you all got campaigns in your mind now?
Possibly.
Think about what you're going to offer. It's got to be something that, do you know what? If I miss this, I'll be a right idiot. It's got to be something irresistible. Now, some people offer discount. Thing is, if you offer discount, you've then got to work twice as hard to make up the money you've discounted. That's the only thing. So add extra value. And if you book onto this course for this much, I mean, I'm not saying don't discount, but just you've got to really think about it carefully before you do. Because that means you are going to have to work harder to make the same amount of money. So it could be that, you book onto my course for, I don't know, $395. But actually what I'm going to do is throw you in an extra session. I'm still working a little bit more, but it's only one session more. So it is kind of discounting in a way, but actually what I'm doing is adding extra value because they're going to be with me for an extra session. So by then there may be something else I want to upsell them to afterwards. Maybe you need another session. Maybe you need this, maybe you need that. Have you thought about sorting out this? We can sort out, you mentioned that you've got a fear of water and you're going on holiday soon. Wouldn't it be good to sort that out as well? Shall we book in some extra sessions and we can sort that out too? See what I mean? There's a reason why we do things. There's got to be a purpose. It could be that you've got, you've created a little booklet about, I don't know, stress management or weight loss on a couple of different diets. So, I've got this downloadable, printable booklet that I can offer you. that I'm going to give you as well. What makes things hard for people to achieve what it is they want to achieve? And once we know that, how can we make that easier? You know, there was a story I heard ages ago about, I think it was a gym membership. Why do people come? Because they want to lose weight. Okay, what's stopping them from losing weight? Well, they don't know what food to get. So I'm going to do a done for you menu for a week, a month, whatever. So they do a done for you menu. And here's the shopping list to go with that menu. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of work to start off with, but it brought a lot of people in. Because all of their, oh, well, I can't think about this, all of their excuses were slowly disappearing as they, oh, and I've done this for you, and I've done that for you. And if you want to have it delivered, you can click on this link and so will deliver you those goods for you. So all the reasons why not have been taken away. And this is a great price of £47 a month or something. I can't remember what it was. It was a while ago when I saw that one. So think about what their excuses are and what we can do to take away those excuses, or at least reduce them right down. Well, I don't want to stop eating altogether, Helen. Well, no, I don't want you to stop eating altogether either. I don't think I'd be very helpful. Yeah, but I want to go out and enjoy my birthday cake. I want to go out and enjoy a meal with the family. That's fine. And I want you to go out and enjoy those things too. You'll still be able to eat a reasonable dinner. You just know when you can stop, that's all. Oh, right, is that it? Yep, that's it. No diet, no thinking about food. Just stop when you eat, when you've had enough. All right, and I'll be able to do that. Yes, you'll be able to do that with a gastric band. It'll just help you to control your portion sizes. All right, so I'm going to eat less. Yes, you can eat whatever you like. So if you want fish and chips, you can have fish and chips. But as soon as you're full, you stop. You put the chips in the bin, or you stick them in the fridge and reheat them for tomorrow. Some people will do that. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yes.
So who's thinking? What I do with my gastric band people is I give them one of Sheila's books on no more diets. So they get one of those books. So think about when you've decided what it is that you're going to do, or you're going to focus your posts or your campaign on, or you're going to run an offer on, think about what subject you're going to do it on. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I know what it was. And list everything that you do for that particular thing. Everything you give your clients. So for instance, if I'm going to look at weight loss, okay, so I'm going to help you stop. I'm going to help you to be satisfied with small amounts of food so you can control your portion sizes. I'm going to help you make better choices, healthier choices, easily. There is no diet for you to follow. So you're going to be able to have whatever you like, but you just need to stop when you're full. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to record all of the hypnosis sessions for you. So you'll have a hypnosis recording every time you have a session. So you're going to have 4 or 6 recordings to listen to that will help you to make those habit changes or those little tweaks to your lifestyle. Okay. What else do I do with them? Oh, I teach them tools as well. And you will learn a set of practical tools to help you with those stressful times that often send you emotionally eating. So you can get over them easily without having to turn to food, high calorie, quick fix foods. And they'll know exactly what you mean. And what else do I do with my clients? Let me have a think. Oh, yes. If you have an app, I can join them on the app. If I have...
Isn't the app expensive? Is that the one that was produced by?
Yes. Rob,
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? I can't remember. I'm just wondering if it's due for renewal. I think it was about 200 quid, I think, for the year. I have no idea if he still does it. I think he probably does actually, but I'm not 100%
So
sure.
it's not expensive if you've got a regular turnover of
No.
BGB clients.
And I just get people to join in on my membership, and then just join in. And you have the book as well. You have a book, No More Diets, to help you understand why you eat the way you eat. So I'm adding value all the time. Oh, and by the way, if you sign up for 6 sessions, I'll give you a 7th session complimentary. That kind of thing. Do you see how we're stacking it up all the time? We're listing everything you're going to get with this. You have got time to discuss with me your reasons why, and I'll help you to understand things differently. So I'm going to give you different points of view. I'm going to help you to build your mental strategy, your mental resilience, your mental toughness, and all those things. Yeah. So of course, then you can put that in your marketing, and you get all of that for blah, blah, blah. Normally, all this sort of stuff would cost you about, and you kind of, okay. You know, this program is unique for you. So you can have your very own tailor-made program, unique for you, with all of these points. And, you know, you can contact me, you can WhatsApp me, you can have a call, a 20, 30-minute call with me in between sessions. I'll give you a call to find out how you're getting on. Yeah. That might be for your VIP, I don't know. Just a thought off the top of my head. Is all of that helpful?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So map out what you want to do. Think about who your ideal client is going to be. And then talk to that client as if we're having a conversation. Just picture them being sat in front of you saying, right, Sue, tell me about this, about how you deal with stress. And just it all out. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you, Helen.
Good stuff.
Cool. Has that been useful today?
Yes, thank you very much.
Very.
Lots of notes are written.
Good. If you want to put something together and you'd like me to have a look at it, then just email it across to me. I'm more than happy to do that.
If you insist.
Can't guarantee I'll get back to you the same day, but I'll do my best.
Okay.
That's really good, Helen. Thank you very much.
Cool. You are
Thank you.
very welcome.
You've got to stop clashing with the other side.
Oh no, it's the other way round, I'm afraid.
They've got to stop clashing then.
It's 2 months on the trot.
Was clashing with who?
Oh, with Sheila, she keeps putting sessions on at the same time I do Springboard.
Oh no.
So I might change it anyway, but I might change it to a Tuesday. But you know, I've been doing this longer than for quite a while. So we'll sort that one out. I might change it to a Tuesday. It's not going to be a Thursday because I work in the clinic on a Thursday. That's not going to work, and Fridays just are out the window.
Yeah.
Mondays are not great days for me. So the only other option for me is a Tuesday. So I'll sort something else out, and we'll see. Okay.
Okay.